What was I saying? Uh, Melvin and I went to the same school, but our performances were different. Mine was high, Melvin's performance was low, but we maintained our friendship. Till today, we are still friends. And I can tell you something. Melvin and I had our own self-worth. He had his, I had mine. And we maintained our self-worth. And today, as we speak, when I look at Melvin's returns in terms of cash, they are very far compared to mine. Yet in school, I used to beat him. There's a time I paid him a visit, and he gave me a ride to Tuskys Wholesales before Tuskys failed. He gave me a ride to Tuskys Wholesale, and he was going to do a transaction. Actually, he was going to purchase fertilizer. And guess what? I was so shocked to see this guy purchasing fertilizer worth 1.3 M in one day, and he pays cash. I was like, Kwani, how much are you making? But you see, the performance in school did not lower Melvin's self-worth. And that is why Melvin lived his purpose, maintaining his worth. He was able to achieve and become who he is today. And that is what I'm encouraging you. Don't look at your grades and lower your self-worth. You don't know what God has in store for you. You don't know what God has planned for you. He says he has good plans for us. Therefore, maintain your self-worth. Number three, yes, your age. Don't look down upon yourself because you are young. Even young people can cause great transformations. And also, don't look down upon yourself or lower your self-worth because of economic status. Economic status in a way that maybe you are coming from a family that is not well able, or maybe your family is struggling financially. That should not cause you to lower your self-worth. I have a friend by the name Ali Muhwana, the singer of Usinipite Mokozi, if you know him. He sang so many other songs, gospel songs. Ali Muhwana comes from a very poor family, actually the poorest family in our village. I can tell you, he's my closest neighbor, but the poorest family in our village. But today you look at Ali Muhwana and what he's doing exploits. Why? He's maintained his self-worth, he's valued himself, and he's lived to his purpose. So it is not about the financial muscles of your family. Do not draw your self-worth from anything or anyone but yourself. Mentor Douglas has told us that. It is me and God. What God says is what I pick. Then I build myself on what he has said. I build what I say about myself on what God has said. And therefore, let us hear God's voice. Then we speak in direction of God's voice about ourselves, and we maintain what we speak. When God says that he has good plans for me, I believe, and therefore I start walking with that confidence that God has good plans for my life. He has plans not to destroy me, but plans to give me a future and a hope. And therefore, God's voice, my voice. God's voice, my voice. Even if I fail, I will fail with God's voice and my voice. And next time, I will manage, I will achieve because there is hope. But don't listen to others. Don't look at the circumstances or situations. Don't look at the patterns that Mentor Douglas has mentioned, and you start drawing your self-worth from that. How to build or rebuild your self-worth? Number one, I'll give you 10 points, and then I'll be out of your way. Number one, encourage yourself always. Stay and live an encouraged life. Every day, encourage yourself. How do you encourage yourself? From Bible verses. God tells me that I am above and not beneath. God tells me that I am a head and not a tail. God tells me that he will, even if I fail, he will hold me with his righteous right hand, and he will set a table for me before my enemies. Oh, Jesus Christ. Awesome. Wonder that word. Pick what you say about yourself, what you tell yourself from what God has said. Encourage yourself from wonderful books, inspirational or rather motivational books. Read and be encouraged, be motivated, be inspired. Encourage yourself from mentors like Mentor Douglas and I. Feel encouraged every day. Encourage yourself from coaches. Number 2, understand and accept your own self. There is no other person like you. And let me tell you, the you that you are seeing, there are 300 things you can do better than any other person, including those you are ranking very high. There are 300 things you can do better than them. There are 300 things I can do better than my brothers and sisters, better than my colleagues, better than Mentor Douglas. And there are 300 things Mentor Douglas can do better than me. Having that understanding, my friend, you'll accept yourself as you are, because you know what God says about you. It's not what he said about me. He has given you a purpose. He's given me a purpose. I'm walking towards achieving that purpose. You walk towards achieving that purpose. And God will make you, will always provide the grace for you to sail through the journey. Number 3, know you are valuable for who you are, not what you do or have. Don't draw your value from dresses, like we've seen that girl in that picture. Don't draw your value from material things. Don't draw your self-worth from money, monetary items, from wealth. No. Draw your value from inside, the strong will inside. Number 4, maintain a positive regard of self. Always be positive about yourself. Even if people speak negative about you, don't pick their words. Always speak positive about yourself. Even if you have failed, don't leave the failure. The failure is not you. The failure is just a failure. Remain positive. In the failure, pick a lesson and move on. Someone said failing is another way of beginning strong, because you've learned a lesson. You can now better the skill. You pick up strongly. Number 5, find opportunities to experience success. If you have failed in this area, it doesn't mean you will fail in the other area. If you have not done well in one area, it doesn't stop you from doing well in other areas. There are so many other areas you can do well. And when you do well, it motivates you. My friend, learn to celebrate your success. If you succeed in a very small thing, celebrate that success, because it will motivate you to pick something else. The other day, 2 weeks ago, I was celebrating my graduation in a school I've been doing for 2 years. And that graduation has motivated me to start logistics of going back to school and doing even a greater thing. And I'm planning 2022 will not end before I join a university to do a course that will take me like 4 years, I guess. But the motivation, you see where it's coming from, that graduation that I had 2 weeks ago, it is motivating me so much. And it is actually making me feel like I love myself more. It is making me feel like, oh, I value myself. Oh, I'm worth. My friends, look for ways of making success, even in small things. Even if you have failed in one big thing, don't die there. Pick something else small, walk through it, succeed, celebrate the success, and it will keep you motivated. Number 6, accept yourself as you are. You are not a duplicate of any person, and you can never be a duplicate of another person. God has created you fearfully and wonderfully. The Bible says so in the book of Psalms. But remember, even if you have been created fearfully, there's something you are good in and there's something you're bad in. You have some flaws and you have some fears. There are behaviors you like and there are behaviors you don't like. And you know you are behaving in that manner, but you don't like it. There are qualities you know you are not, you are short of. And there are qualities you know you are very good at. You possess those qualities. Just accept yourself that way. Without some of those qualities, accept yourself. With those fears, accept yourself. Because once you accept yourself, it's when you'll be able to walk through the journey of overcoming the fears. It is not something that you achieve in one day. It is a journey you walk. It's a training you take. And therefore, if you have the self-worth, you'll be able to walk through that journey and achieve. Number 7, affirm yourself. Affirm yourself every day. Tell yourself something good. Just every day you rise, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. This is how I am, and I am at peace with that. I don't, look at me. You can see my video there. I'm dark. I'm comfortable with this darkness. I'm not looking for myself to be any light skin. But I'm comfortable with this. I'm just okay. I'm at peace with this. I don't want to add. I don't want to reduce. I'm okay with this. Just affirm yourself. I have not acquired a PhD. It's okay. I am comfortable. I am at peace with what I have. And I will walk through the journey of achieving what I want to achieve. Just value yourself. Just love yourself as you are. Affirm yourself every day. Number 8, enhance your self-love. You know what? If you want others to love you, love yourself. If you want to love others, love yourself. So who is the first person to love? It's me. The Bible tells me that love your neighbor as you love yourself. How do I love you if I don't love myself? How do I value you if I don't value myself? So I need to love myself more. And I need to love myself wholeheartedly. Number 9, recognize your self-worth. Number 9, recognize your self-worth. Don't please others, please yourself. Don't struggle and stress yourself trying to please other people. They are not even interested. Please yourself. Walk through the journey of life, walking your dream and living your purpose. Control how you feel no matter what people say or do about you, do to you. Whatever they said, whatever they did to you, ignore. Control how you feel. Your value comes from inside, from your internal measure that you have for yourself. All of us have the internal measure, and that internal measure of ourselves is what we are calling the self-worth. And your value comes from there. Lastly, number 10, take responsibility for yourself. Take full responsibility for yourself. If you are living a life that is not fulfilling or it's not pleasing, it is not pleasing you, take responsibility of making it better. You will not achieve it in 2 days, you will not achieve it in 1 week, but you must achieve it because you have purposed to make yourself better by taking responsibility of yourself. Accept that you have personal power to change and influence the events and circumstances of your life. Nobody else will influence my life. Nobody else will influence your life. You have to influence it yourself by taking full responsibility of it. Looking at the book of Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 7, the Bible says, but blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. We don't have to be most successful. We don't need to be most productive or the most, the smartest, let's say, or the most anything, whatever anything. Don't stress yourself trying to be the most or the perfect. Accept yourself as you are and know that you are blessed, and trust God with confidence, trust God that he will make you better. We only need to do our best and trust that God will work through that. Don't try to be the best, but work your best. And God will bless you through that. He will make you what you want to be. Just to finish with a few quotes on self-worth. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. If you want to be beautiful, just know that beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. You are not, number two, you are not your mistakes. They are what you did, not what you are. So if you've done mistakes, I know all of us have done mistakes at some point. They are just what you did. And it is in your past. It is not in your future. It's not in your present. And they are not you. You are not them. They are just mistakes. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. If people don't see your worth, that does not decrease your value. And lastly, never measure your self-worth by what other people think you should have become. Never measure your self-worth by what other people think you should have become. I'll finish this or wrap it with acronyms. Number one, fly. Number two, life. Fly life. Fly standing for first love yourself. Fly, first love yourself. And life, fly life. Life is live it fully every day. First love yourself and live it fully every day. May the Lord bless you so much. I know time is well spent and I didn't want to take long, but I know you have gained a lot and I'm glad that you've stayed patient. Thank you so much. Mentor Douglas, you have a word before it ends. I can see Mentor Douglas seems not to be in. All right, that's okay.
I can hear you, Ben.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Mentor Ben, for such a powerful presentation. I believe that you have learned, all of us, something from this. And my prayer is we get into 2022 when we believe on who we are. That's why I gave an assignment. Ben has given us a way to regain our self-worth. And I believe that as we get into 2022, tumejiamini, self-worth, knowing who I am and knowing what I am. So I'll just give it to maybe two people who want to give a feedback. Two, you only have 30 seconds. Anyone who wants to wrap it up and tell us what they've learned, 2 minutes only. Anyone who is willing to raise up their hand and just say, this is what I've learned. You are free.